Welcome to the world of philosophy. So the question is, where can we find true eternal happiness? First of all, does it even exist? I don't know, let's study it. The first thing we have to do is define the object. So, what is happiness? Well, that's easy. Happiness is feeling good, as opposed to feeling bad. Spinoza agrees that happiness is simply the presence of pleasure and the absence of pain. Yeah, like I said. But that's not it. He goes on to explain that pleasure and pain are not absolute states. They are transitions. Dude, English. You see, we feel pleasure only as we go from one state of fulfillment to a greater one. And pain is simply the transition from a greater state of fulfillment to a lesser one. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That explains why people who have so much are usually no happier than people with much less. Happiness doesn't exist in what we have. It only exists in what we get. That's what life is about. It's about growth. And as soon as we stop growing, we cease to fulfill our natural purpose, and the result is pain. We need continuous growth in order to be continuously happy. I get it. It makes total sense. But how do we maintain continuous fulfillment throughout our entire lives? Is it even possible? Spinoza advises us that the love of a thing eternal and infinite alone feeds the mind with a pleasure secure from all pain. So we need to find a source of fulfillment that has no limits and no frustrations. Okay, how about the pursuit of wealth? Well, money has its advantages, but it's not infinite. While it feels good to attain wealth and things, if at any point our efforts are hindered, or if we reach our limits, then our pleasure will be replaced by deep, deep misery. That's true, but what about fame? No, you see, fame has the same drawbacks. It's good at first, but when it reaches its limits, the high is gone, and then you're stuck molding your identity to please the fancy and pleasure of others. How about looking really, really good? No, I'm kidding. But what about true love? It's great to have a lifelong companion, but it's not something we should seek for fulfillment. You see, the only real high comes from falling in love, the infatuation phase. But after that, you can't rely on that person to keep you happy. That's why divorce is so popular. People love to fall in love, and as soon as the buzz is gone, they move on. What about friendship? The same with friends. They shouldn't be your source of happiness, but rather someone to share your happiness with. If you depend on your relationships for pleasure, they will not last. No one can be responsible for your happiness, and so you shouldn't put that responsibility on them. Okay, well, I think we pretty much covered everything. Perhaps true happiness is just a fairy tale. Hold on, don't give up yet. First, let's ask our wise philosophers what they had to say about happiness. Aristotle says that happiness can only be a pleasure of the mind, and that we can only trust it when it comes from the pursuit of knowledge and truth. 2,000 years later, Francis Bacon writes, "Happy the man who has learned the causes of things, and has put under his feet all fears, and the noisy strife of the hell of greed. Seek ye first the good things of the mind, and the rest will either be supplied, or its loss will not be felt." And Spinoza concludes that only knowledge is true power and freedom, and that the only permanent happiness is in the pursuit of knowledge and the joy of understanding. So our wise predecessors, though born thousands of years apart, come to the exact same conclusion, that knowledge is the only infinite source of pleasure. But what do you have to say to the person who thinks they already know everything? I mean, we all have very strong beliefs about the world and about how things work. Why should we dedicate our lives to the pursuit of knowledge and truth if our beliefs are already set in stone? Socrates said, "The only thing I know is that I know nothing." Let me guess, we have to wait until next time to talk about that? Hey, patience is a virtue. All good things come to he who waits. Can you believe this guy?